Hello, everyone, and welcome to the greatest vlog that ever lived. I am King, your host, and sorry, I have to clip that on. And today, I didn't think I had a whole lot to say. I made another list because that's what I do. Um, until about 30 minutes ago, that is. Now, some of you may recall my story of when I was walking home from work, and upon reaching the tunnel, there was an old man in a wheelchair who I then helped home, and he proceeded to tell me about his criminal past. Well, today, something similar happened, and it wasn't even the same guy. So, what happened was, I was on my way walking home, just about to reach the tunnel, so it happened slightly earlier than the last time, when a man came walking and he said, "Do you speak English?" And I said, "Yes, I speak English." And he said, "Listen, I need you to hear me out. This is the first time I've actually been able to get through to somebody. Everyone else here is just, they refuse to speak English." So he told me that he had been walking for about a day and a half. He, I think, came from Halifax, and he stopped here, and then he was on his way to Boston or something like that. And him, as well as 6 other passengers, had lost their luggage. And I'm sitting here going, okay, well, I'm just going to tell this guy there's nothing I can do to help him, because this could easily be a scam. And so then he told me he was trying to get to Boston because he needed an operation, a life-saving operation. And then he lifted up his shirt, and he had a giant, I don't even know what it was. I guess a tumor, maybe? It just a giant bulge coming out of his chest, and it looked awful. And at that point, I'm like, oh, crap. I think I believe this guy. I should probably help him. And so then he proceeded to tell me how his stuff was being sent back, and in order to get it, or in order to continue on his way to Boston, he needed $140 total. And I'm thinking, I can't do that. But he told me that he already had $100, and now he only needed 40. And I'm thinking, like, oh God, do I do this? I mean, $40 is a lot of money, but so he told me that unless he gets this operation in next week, he'll be dead in 6 months. And you guys can decide whether I'm an idiot or just a really nice person, or both. But I decided to help this guy out. And so he told me he hadn't slept in like 3 days, and I could tell because as he was walking, he was almost passing out. And so we walked to the bank. I went in. He stayed outside, which is a good thing because I would have asked him to please stand outside. I went in. I took out $40. I handed it to him. Told him to get something to eat because he apparently hadn't eaten in a day. And then I walked away, and he went to McDonald's. I made sure to walk the other way just in case, because you're never sure. But he seemed grateful. As we were walking to the bank, he was telling me a bunch of stories about his past, like how he used to be on I think a Navy vessel. And I don't know. I feel like anyone should feel after they've just lost $40 for no reason. But at the same time, I feel like I did the right thing. I wouldn't have believed him if he hadn't shown me his giant thing on his chest. And if he was telling the truth, and I'm fairly certain he is, but I can't be sure. I hope things go well for him. I hope he survives those operation. Anyways, leave a comment. Let me know, guys. Did I do the right thing? Am I stupid? Am I gullible? Have I been scammed? Is this a known scam? I don't know how it could be a known scam. There were no seams, so it seemed real. I don't know. Why? I'm gonna have to stop walking home from work. Crazy things just keep happening to me on my way home. Anyways, I'll continue with the rest of the things I had to say. That one thing took up probably at least half of the vlog, so I'll try and be quick with the rest of the stuff. Oh man, this is going to be a long story too. The other significant thing that happened to me this week, it happened on the weekend. I was going out to get some change because I needed to do laundry. And on my way out, I see a squirrel, and he's just sort of laying behind a bicycle. And I'm like, oh, cute squirrel. He's not running away from me. How cute. And then he starts moving, and his back legs are dragging behind him. And I'm like, oh no, this squirrel's paraplegic. Thinking back, like, after what happened today and this squirrel, I am definitely racking up the karma points because I stuck outside with that squirrel for like an hour while I waited for these people to show up, who, by the way, never showed up. I even bought some peanuts so I can give him some peanuts, barbecue flavored, because why shouldn't I get to have some? And yeah, so ended up hiding underneath a fence thing, like an under balcony that was surrounded by fence, so I couldn't actually get in there to help him, and I wouldn't because he's injured and injured squirrels can bite. So I just I sat there for a while looking sketchy before I decided these people aren't showing up. I'm gonna go inside and stop being sketchy. And when I went back out, I had left peanuts out there for him, and when I went back out, I saw him again, like hanging outside of the fence. So I got a stick to help him, like pull himself out. He ended up pushing himself back in. So again, nothing I could do to help. And then I went to a beer festival, and that's the second part of my. Not even a second part of my story, but the next thing that happened that day, I went to a beer fest with one of my coworkers, which was fun, and his girlfriend and his buddy. Actually, it wasn't fun. It was awful. I spent $10 and I got I think 3 tiny beers, like this big. It was awful. But afterward, we walked back to my coworker's place. He made sausages, which were very good. He sautéed some onions and caramelized some onions, and yeah, we watched a show called Sliders, which was really damn good. But it also stormed like hell that night. So when I got back home, I didn't see Richmond. By the way, I named the squirrel Richmond. I don't know if I mentioned that. And yeah, I didn't see him when I got back. It was after the storm had subsided, and I assume he was stuck, or he drowned, or he escaped. I don't know, but if he's still alive, keep on trucking. If he passed away, then rest in peace. That's gonna be how I feel about the guy I met today as well, unless he was a scammer. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that he wasn't a scammer. It seemed too real, and I don't know, maybe homeless people or people on the street are naturally good at like acting and lying, but it seemed legit to me, especially because of his thing, which I highly doubt was a prop. Again, karma. Up Reddit. So, Sunday and Monday night, me and Morgan, my good friend from back where I live, me and Morgan, we played Resident Evil 6, which obviously didn't get good reviews. I could tell why. The servers are awful, and the story so far seems weird, and every single person you help dies immediately after and stuff. It's just kind of weird, but we had fun. It's one of those games that if you're playing with a good friend, you can still have fun. Game of Thrones on Sunday night. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who's seen it, but anyone who has seen it knows how amazing... Is amazing the right word? How amazing that episode was. How big that episode was. And I'm not going to give any spoilers, but feel free to send me a message if you want to talk about it. Yeah, it's a good episode. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, get on it, because, come on, you need to catch up. It's a big enough thing that if you frequent the internet, you're going to get spoiled, so you should watch it as soon as possible so that you avoid getting spoiled. Anyway, that's it for today. That's all the things. Oh, no, wait, no, I streamed on the weekend. It wasn't very good. I played Guild Wars for a bit, and I played Dota 2 for a bit. The Guild Wars went well. The Dota 2 was just plain embarrassing, but at least no one was watching. So, yeah, that's just that. And I'm going to continue on to saying goodbye. Thanks for watching, everybody. My video this week, this Wednesday, which went up today, was Antichamber. It's the last episode, so make sure you watch it. Whatever. If you've been following the series, again, like I said last week, if you've been following the series, watch it. If you haven't, maybe now's a good time to watch it. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm not your boss. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in next week, where hopefully I won't get a weird man approaching me on my way home from work. I may have to start taking the metro. Because I can't afford to spend $40 anybody who has a problem. I can't be that guy. I can't be the only one willing to stick their neck out. I did my good deed. It's your turn, people of Earth. Bye. And who are you, the proud Lord sent, that I must bow so low? Only a cat of a different coat, that's all the truth I know. In a coat of gold, coat of red, a lion still has claws, and mine are long and sharp, my lord, as long and sharp as yours. And so he spoke, and so he spoke, that Lord of Castamere. But now the rains weep o'er his halls, with no one there to hear. Yes, now the rains weep o'er his halls, with not a soul to hear.